Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. The Danforth. A lot of people know what I'm talking about when I say Danforth. A lot of people don't. Let me have the chance to inform you. I'm from a little place called East York. East York is one of the 6 boroughs of Toronto, or as Drake likes to call it, the 6. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The Danforth is a very long stretch of road that is located in East York. Now, a lot of people still consider it to be called Danforth Avenue, which it technically is. To me, it'll always be known as the Danforth. Also, running right off it is Danforth Road, but I'm talking about more the actual Danforth, which to me has always been more, let's say, between Main and Danforth and Broadview and Danforth. That part of Toronto is very special to me. I almost consider it my backyard in the sense where it's where I do all my shopping. If I want to go out, most of the times nowadays I don't really feel like going all the way downtown because I don't feel like paying for a $40 cab, and I don't really trust Uber. So instead I just go to the Danforth, hang out there at a restaurant, local bar, do some shopping, whatever comes my way. It's always been a very friendly area. Me being half Greek, part of it has always been known as Greek Town as well. To me, the heart of Greek Town has always been between Pape and Chester. Now, growing up, pretty much every other place down there was a restaurant that was Greek related. There's still lots of Greek restaurants down there. One of my favorites, I don't go there as often as I should, but it's been there since the beginning of time. I'm talking about Square Boys. Now, if you've never been to Square Boys, you're in for a treat. First of all, I'm pretty sure it's been there since the beginning of time, or at least the 70s. Because as soon as you go in there, you still see the old school tables. You see the light fixture from 1973. Very nostalgic. You know, it's almost like you went into an old late 70s, 80s teen romp movie, and you know, people are just chilling out there, and you know, it just reeks of that essence. I mean, you go in there and it still has the asteroid old school arcade. Like, I'm not talking about the one where you're standing up. It's one where you sit down. It's got that old school roller baller. I mean, they still got it. That's awesome. Now, as far as I know, there's 4 major guys that work there. I call them the 4 Stooges, but the only reason why I call them that, and I don't mean any disrespect by that, is because they just always make me laugh. These guys are really old school. I mean, they'll just argue in front of everybody. I mean, there could be like 20 people in line. These guys will just keep arguing. I mean, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. But the food there is phenomenal. What's great about that place is the souvlaki there are, I'm pretty sure, the size of golf balls. Or, I don't want to say softballs, because softballs have definitely gotten bigger over the course of time. But it's just delicious. And they put some special sauce in there, you know, on top of the tzatziki, and they got the old school fries, and it's just that like old school essence of like an old diner. And the reason why like I bring all this up is because it's places like that that make the Danforth so great. You know, a lot of restaurants have been popping up the last probably 5-10 years there. A lot of people were, you know, complaining that, oh, it's not Greek anymore. You know, I mean, there was this big uproar when they opened up a Tim Hortons / Swiss Chalet there, and you know, people were really pissed off, and There's no need. I mean, everyone loves Tim Hortons. Doesn't matter if you're white, Greek, black, who cares? Everybody loves Tim Hortons, you know? So I didn't see it to be that big of a deal. I mean, times change, but at the same time, yeah, I do want to think I can still go to Danforth and get a great piece of spinach pie or, some nice locomadas, uh, which are basically, for those of you that are, non-Greek, those are basically the Greek timbit. So, those are always good. And, it's just that essence, of the Danforth that's always just being very friendly. I mean, New York City has Times Square, which for the most part is safe. It's always busy. I compare it to that because it's our little strip where, people can just walk and, they can take pictures and, I mean, I could have said Young and Bloor, but I mean, to me, the Danforth is just, that essence of like a very chill spot. All we're missing, compared to New York is those stairs that light up, Instead, we got the fountain there. We got the local schools. We got great bars. It's a really nice place. I've always considered it, one of the few oases in Toronto. It's funny before that I mentioned New York, Times Square, because the person who actually designed Danforth Road was an American contractor named Asa Danforth Jr., who actually later on built Queen Street and Kingston Road. So the guy definitely knew his shit. I think in the essence of building such a great strip of stores and restaurants, it was just a very peaceful area. I mean, you go downtown to Toronto and obviously it's very congested and, there's always been a part of the Danforth where, I mean, worst case scenario, even if it's really busy down there, you can still like walk around and, just enjoy all the different stores. Another great store I always enjoyed was, I hope I'm saying this right because I've been going there for years, Dulce, Dolce, which is a great ice cream parlor. They got gelato there, all different kinds of ice cream, sweets, very nice cafe. I've always enjoyed going there. It's very nice, very cool. The people there are really nice. It seems to me that like whoever works there, they just let them play whatever music they want, which I think is cool because I don't know, I'm sick and tired of listening to the same shit on the radio. They seem to have pretty good taste in music there, so guys, keep that up. That's awesome. And yeah, it's always very chill there. You can either relax inside or they got tables outside as well, and it's a nice hot day. It's always nice to get a cool, refreshing ice cream. Nice. The essence of nice has always been part of the Danforth. There's times where I'll just walk down there during the day, do some errands, go to the Dollarama, get some candy, get some tinfoil, whatever, just make a whole day of it. It's nice. One time I was walking on the Danforth and somebody recognized me and just started talking to me. And he did look really familiar, so I just kept the conversation going. I wasn't like afraid or anything. It wasn't like I felt this guy was going to rob me or anything like that. It was just a very friendly conversation. I'm not going to lie though. Afterwards, I was done talking to him. I really said to myself, where do I know this person from? I had no idea his name. But again, the reason why I say that is because it's just a very friendly environment. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like when I'm walking down Danforth sometimes, like the sun just hits Danforth perfectly. It just lights it up so well. And, there's so many cool colors and, just a great atmosphere that's Danforth. It sounds like I'm on shrooms right now, but really, I just, I'm just thinking about this, and I mean, that's what makes the essence of the Danforth so great. Is it's very friendly. Another great restaurant I love to go to, and this is probably my favorite restaurant on the Danforth, is Massini's. Now, Massini's is just outside Chester Station. Great place. Look at the reviews. It's always great. They have a very friendly waiter, waitress, staff. The kitchen there is excellent. I mean, not only do they make the food fast, but it's good. I mean, usually you get one or the other. Guarantee you go there, like just by yourself with like 20, 25 bucks, like you're going to leave with a shitload of food. I mean, you will not be able to finish everything that they give you, and this is coming from a big guy. So I mean, like that's what I love about going there too, is like, they'll give you a little container after. You can bring your food home after. They got the French fries that are, I like to call them the silver dollar fries, where like, they're circle, they're like rigid, and I mean, they're just really good. Get some feta on there. It's awesome. I mean, there's so many great things at that restaurant. The owner's always there. He's always very friendly. You know, again, it's nice. I can't stop saying that word today. I don't know why, but like every time I think of Danforth, that's what I think of. I think of friendly. I think of nice. It's just, I've never had any complaints on Danforth. There was one time I worked at a restaurant. I think it was called Lviv. Again, it was like right outside of Chester Station. Now, I just needed a job growing up. It was more of a Brazilian, Spanish kind of restaurant. I mean, they would make a roast beef focaccia that would like just melt in your mouth. And again, like when I worked there, the owner was really friendly. He kind of looked like the bad guy from the movie with Johnny Depp, Blow. What's his name? Diego. Yeah. He had that same face, the same eyes. George, what do you know about cocaine? He never asked me that. He never. I'm just saying that was the line from the movie. But yeah, I mean, he was really cool. His wife was drop dead gorgeous. She looked like really fit and I don't know, really cool. She kind of looked like a Spanish version of Jada Pinkett Smith. The way she looked like in Set It Off, the director's cut. Well, I don't know. She had the same hair in either version, but yeah, like same hair, but just like the Spanish version of that. But anyways, I mean, they were really cool. The staff was really cool. I just worked as a dishwasher there, but at one point they even the waiters there, they said, "Listen, we like you. We'll cut you in on our tips, because we feel you work just as hard as us." And I was like, "Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that." So yeah, that was really again, that was nice. I mean, that was that was really nice of them to do that. So, it's just something about the Danforth. It just, it creates a very friendly atmosphere, The Danforth. Not the Danny. Now, I think this was about a year ago where they wanted to change, or, I mean, I don't know. The Danforth never really had a nickname. I mean, it didn't need a nickname. It's like having, having Times Square have a nickname. It's like calling Times Square, Mr. Clock or something. I mean, they wanted to call the Danforth the Danny. I remember they were interviewing people on City TV about that, and everyone hated it, and it was just stupid. I mean, like fucking Danny, like the Danny, really, like. I don't know. It was just dumb. So from now on, I've never actually anybody heard them say, the Danny describing the Danforth. But if you do, there's going to be a problem. So just don't, what? Let's just forget I even brought this up because I'm already getting pissed off. I brought it up. So it is called the Danforth. Okay, not the Danny, the Danforth. All right, good. I'm glad we got that out of our systems. And how could I forget the taste of the Danforth? which usually happens the second weekend of August, if I remember. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been down there probably since 2009. I'm half Greek. Don't hate me. Pretty much every day is Taste of Danforth to me. So I'm not making excuses or nothing. It gets very congested down there. I mean, it is packed. It is crazy down there. But at the same time, it's awesome. Like everyone's friendly down there. There's never been any problems. They usually close all the way to Broadview to it used to be Pape. I think and then they expanded it to Dawnlands. I don't even know if it's gone even longer. That's what she said. Sorry, but yeah, it gets bigger and bigger every single year, and yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it really is. I mean, like every culture comes down there, just enjoys it. It's one of the biggest festivals we have. That and Caravana, is always great. And yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you can taste, you know, all different kinds of food. I mean, they got the corn going, they got the souvlaki going, Greek sweets. It's it's beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye just thinking and smelling of that beautiful lamb just in the air, and like the music's playing, and they always got some events going down there, and they got some live music as well. I mean, the essence of it is really cool, and it's been like this for a very long time. So long ago that I remember when I went to the very first Taste of Danforth as a kid. My dad told me about it. My dad said, "Okay, listen, we're gonna, don't tell your mother, but we're gonna, stuff her face, because your mother doesn't let me eat anything," which again is not true. But I'm just like, okay, whatever, free food. So, we go down there, and nobody knew about it. Like nothing, it was nothing like it was today. Nothing. It was like going to the Danforth on a Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No road closures. Nothing was closed on the Danforth, like road wise. They gave out these like little coupons. It's okay. 2 of these coupons get you souvlaki. 3 of them get a euro. Like whatever. And that's another thing too. I don't want to hear gyros. Okay, that's very. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. But euro. Okay, say it like this, euro. Okay, it sounds good like this. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, nobody knew like about this. I mean, we just go to restaurant. Here are the coupons, and there you go. That's it. And just over time, it just got bigger and bigger, and like the endorsements would come in, and eventually it just got to a point where they had to close the streets, because there's just so many people, and it's become this big major thing, and it's awesome. I mean, it really is. And it brings in a lot of money for the city of Toronto. Brings people together. People love it. And yeah, it's not gonna slow down anytime soon. So every year, like I said, I've been down there in a long time, but I advise everybody to go down there and check it out. Especially if you're a tourist, coming to Toronto at this time, you got to check it out for sure. You'll be very happy, just as happy as the Greeks were when Greece won the Euro Cup in 2004. Now, before I mentioned Greek town on Danforth, it means a lot to us. And it meant so much to us that day when they won, they closed down the street. It was like almost Taste of Danforth again. It was insane. Actually, if anything, when we won the semi-finals, I think both definitions are fine. I don't know. I'm European. It doesn't matter. They still closed down the streets. So for 2 games, before they won, or like, when they played semifinals and then when they won, they closed down the streets. So again, it was like, Taste of Danforth 2.0. I mean, and he was even noisier. Like people were just going nuts down there, but in a good way. I mean, nobody was being destructive or anything like that. It was awesome. One of the days I remember it rained really hard, and people, were just sitting on the side. Me and my buddy, we were just like walking down the street, and like we didn't care. I mean, it was just a miracle that year. I think Greece was ranked like 36th overall, and like we beat teams like France. I think they were ranked third. I mean, it was insane. It was just an insane year. But again, like the essence of the Danforth just brought everybody, together, and it was a really peaceful celebration, and it was great. Rain or shine, we kept it going, and it didn't matter if you were related to the people, or you didn't know the people. I mean, everybody just celebrated together. It was really great. The Danforth is for everybody. I mean, even if you're a vegetarian, they have a great little place called the Big Carrot, and that's been there for a very long time too. You never know who you're going to bump into on the Danforth. My mom one time was on the Danforth shopping at the Big Carrot, because she enjoys peanut butter with, just peanut butter. But anyways, she's in line at the checkout counter, and in front of her is this like huge black guy. And in front of the big black guy was this like kind of little white woman, and like my mom kept looking over, and she was like, maybe she looks familiar. I don't know, whatever. And then the two people leave, and my mom's like, oh, who was that just left? And the cashier says, oh, that was Alanis Morissette. Cool. And then another time, I was with my family at Papa's Grill, which again is another great restaurant. I'm not gonna lie though, they used to have an oven there, and they really made good pizza. I think they took it out because they just wanted to make more room for chairs. They have a really cool basement where it's just like this, like the best way I could describe it, it's like the Horio, which is Greek for the village. Yes, that's one of the 20 Greek words I know. So you go down there, and it's very just villagey. Like if you go in a village, it's very like they have the old school like tables and all that. It's just like a very friendly atmosphere, and it's got kind of a like an outdoorsy, there's bricks and plants everywhere, and it's really cool. Like I recommend to anybody, if you're ever gonna have like an office party or something like that, it's a really cool atmosphere. Give Papa's Grill a call, and they'll set you up proper. So anyways, yeah, so we were there, just enjoying our beautiful bread, which again they used to make in the oven, which was really good. Sorry, I can't get over that oven. I just love things that are stuffed in the ovens, old school clay ovens. But anyways, and my mom's like, hey, I think that's the lead singer of the Bare Naked Ladies, Mr. Stephen Page. Now, for those of you that are not, awesomely Canadian, he is, or used to be, one of the lead singers of the rock group, the Bare Naked Ladies. They had tons of hits. Yeah, so he was just there, with a lady. And, he didn't have the glasses on. He was just chilling in his shirt and shorts. And, he was just kind of just looking around. And, like, again, like, you just don't know who's going to show up on Danforth. I mean, the Danforth is just a very friendly place. It doesn't matter, like, if you're not famous or just, an ordinary person, you got some change in your pocket, you just go down there and get a coffee, and you could just walk around and you can just enjoy it. It's great. Unfortunately, things are not always so great on Danforth. On July 22nd, 2018, there was a mass shooting at around 10 o'clock at night. It was a Sunday. It was nighttime, and people were still out there having a good time. I mean, again, that's the great thing about Danforth is, it could be a Sunday. Not everybody works Monday. Some people just want to go out and have a good time, whether it's, get an ice cream or have a coffee or just have a couple drinks outside on a patio and just relax. And, unfortunately, there was somebody who, decided to take matters into their own hands, and he just went out there just blasting. And, nobody saw it coming. Witnesses around were able to get this guy on tape. And unfortunately, he killed 2 people, and 13 people are still injured. Now, a lot of people say, what happened to Danforth? What happened to Toronto? What happened, to this little community where, someone can do something so horrific? The fact of the matter is, stuff like this can happen anytime and anywhere. But that should not stop us from going out. People still have to go out there and enjoy their lives and, not be paranoid that this is going to keep happening. We don't know if this is, a one-time thing, with Taste of Danforth coming up, people, are scared that something might happen there. Nothing has happened yet on Taste of Danforth. It's not to say something would happen, but at the same time, we can't be afraid that, that something is going to happen. I mean, we just can't live our lives in fear. I mean, but this guy had no idea how strong the Danforth is, the Danforth community, how strong it is. We are Danforth strong. A restaurant that's being built is all boarded up and somebody spray painted, "We are Danforth strong." Just to remind us that we're not going anywhere. We're staying right here. It's our community, and we're not giving up. People responded to this very well. They put a whole bunch of candles and flowers and pictures and personal messages on the board. Just at Logan and Danforth, there's the beautiful pond, the beautiful fountain, and people have decorated that as well, with flowers and pictures and messages to remind us, that, we're strong. We're going to stay together. A moment of silence was given as well recently, and, to honor the people that are injured and we've lost because of this tragedy. And, we refuse to give up. We support our community. I said this before, the Danforth is very special to me. It's my backyard. It really is. I'm Greek and Italian, but in many ways I grew up more Greek because of the area I grew up in. At the time was very Greek. A lot of my friends were Greek, and The essence of Danforth growing up was even more Greek than what it was now. And it means a lot to me. It really, it's home to me. This hits home very personally to me. Um, I just don't want people to think that it's not safe to go there anymore. You know, a couple of years ago, we had to deal with the Eaton Center shooting, and I mean that was just horrific as well. And people are still going to the Eaton Center now. I mean, it's always been a very busy area, and it's not going to stop being a busy area. Same thing with Danforth. Danforth, a lot of things go down there. Whether if it's business or pleasure, it doesn't matter. It's always going to be busy down there. It is a huge part of Toronto, and a lot of money is generated there, and a lot of great people are there. There's a lot of history there, and let's just not forget that. Let's not forget what the Danforth means to a lot of us out there, and we just have to keep going. And just keep support. For those that you see on the Danforth, who you deal with on the Danforth, because it's a very friendly community. When this tragedy happened, I was so proud of how everyone just came together. The mayor, the police, everybody that was on the street at that time, just everybody came together and helped people. I mean, it was a great thing. People just coming together and, making sure that everybody was safe. And everybody right now is, doing their best to recover from this and, find out as much information as they can. And, everybody out there just, pray for the people that are still recovering, and for the people that we lost, pray for them. And let's just everybody do our part. Everybody just keep living. Honestly, just it's very sad this happened, but I just can't emphasize how important it is just to keep going. I can't wait for the next time I'm on Danforth. I don't care if it's going to be daytime, nighttime. I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to hold my head up high and just keep living and enjoy everything that the Danforth has to offer. It's beautiful streets, it's great restaurants, and the people. You can always test a person's patience, but you can't take away their love. And the love of the Danforth really came out strong. And I'm very proud to call myself a Torontonian. A piece of me has always been with the Danforth. And I think a lot of other people feel the same way too. And we just can't forget how important it is that everybody can come together like this in such a horrific tragedy and still stay Danforth strong and still be there for one another and support each other and love each other. I love the Danforth very much. I almost think of it as a second home where people can come together and just have a great time. The essence of the Danforth, like I said before, is always just being nice. It's a very friendly place, and it'll always be in my heart. Thank you to the Danforth. I love you very much. You've always meant a lot to me, and you always will be. And for future generations to come, make sure you treat the Danforth with the respect it deserves, and I guarantee you it'll treat you with the same respect back. The Danforth.